It's locked. The West End should be safe now. But London is not. It would be wise to benefit from the Ascalon's protection while I continue my research during the Great Hunt.
Bon. Est-ce qu'on a là un nouveau journal intime de Doris Fletcher? À bientôt le montrer. Ouais. Elle avait des rêves, elle avait tout ce qu'il faut. Ah, enfin. Eh bien du coup on est retour en compagnie de Jonathan. Et du coup là on va aller parler avec le professeur. On va aller discuter avec un peu le professeur. Alors regardons un petit peu s'il y a des ravages. Stable à 85%. On a des personnages à rencontrer. C'est vrai que j'aimerais bien régler son problème à elle.
So Doris just needed to be close to her audience to infect them. Contagion through skin. Very disturbing.
Ah, j'imagine. Le rapport à l'ordre Redgrave, hein, mais ça c'est pas ce qui va nous intéresser pour l'instant. On a commencé en plus le 5e acte. On approche tranquillement mais sûrement, on va dire, de la fin du jeu. Même si on n'y est pas encore. Donc allons voir un petit peu par là. Comme ça on peut passer entre les bâtiments. Ça c'est vraiment chouette. L'hôpital est pas très loin en plus. Donc là ça y est, hein, là on a vraiment accès à toute la ville quasiment. Je crois qu'il y a peut-être encore un ou deux endroits où on n'a pas accès. Tiens, je vais aller voir. Ah, porte verrouillée, ok. Bon, pour l'instant on peut pas parler à Elisabeth. Alors, regardons un petit peu. Je vais en profiter pour faire une halte, je pense, quand même, en arrivant en ville. Il y avait un truc qui brillait, hop. Pour l'instant, on est plutôt bien. On va passer par le port. Il y a un petit truc que je regrette, c'est de pas pouvoir sauter comme les Assassin's Creed. J'avoue qu'ils y ont pas pensé. Bon, après, le moteur a l'air quand même très rigide. Hein. Sur pas mal de points. Mais bon. On va aller voir un peu par là. Qui est malade, qui n'est pas malade. Tout le monde est en rémission, apparemment, dans le coin. Donc j'ai envie de dire pourquoi pas. Ah, tiens, toi tu tombes bien. Voilà. Donc, acheter les munitions, histoire d'être tranquille, on va dire. Oh. J'irais bien voir l'autre s'il a eu son opération d'ailleurs, tiens. Très curieux. Il y a un moment qu'on n'est pas venu, donc du coup...
Good evening, Doctor.
Lui, son opération n'a toujours pas eu lieu, ce qui est assez drôle hein, quand on y pense. Bon après, il s'est passé que 4 jours au total sur cette partie. Donc à chaque fois, je joue avec pas mal de points XP, ce qui est plutôt cool. Peut-être même 5 jours. Mais bon. J'ai essayé de faire traîner.
What news, Jonathan?
Did Elizabeth tell you?
So it's Elizabeth now. My. Things are moving quickly. I turn my back for a moment and away you go.
I may have found the source of the contagion. Doris Fletcher, the actress. Thankfully, in the end, she was destroyed by fire.
Really? Oh, please, do tell me more.
Doris was a heavily mutated skull. Almost a new breed entirely. It's as if the disease had completely altered her mind and body. Highly contagious.
As if the disease had taken control of her will?
Yes. Once a beautiful and brilliant woman, she became motivated by hate alone.
Oh, she was a beauty. I met her when she visited the hospital to cheer up the sick. Too bad the fire destroyed her. But it was probably for the best.
Have you heard of similar cases?
No, I don't think so. Except, perhaps, it reminds me of an old report from the Brotherhood. Well, more an article, really.
What was it about?
The author, a friar, referred to a rare form of contagion in a skull he observed during the Black Death. The carrier was always female. They called them icors.
Have you seen Lady Ashbury recently?
Yes, she popped in yesterday. Told me about your new friends in the West End.
Just a courtesy visit, then?
Yes. And no. She was en route to the docks, I think, following a lead concerning your maker.
How's the situation at the Pembroke?
We're still holding out. Question is, for how long? What we really need is hope, Jonathan. Hope for a better tomorrow.
I'll come back later.
Always a pleasure to see you, my friend.
Ok. Donc du coup on a parlé avec le professeur.
Good evening.
And good evening.
Ok, bon, on a tous les trucs de discussion sur elle. Elle pourrait me donner 5000. Bon. En vrai.
She's been quite busy these last.
Hop. Lui, alors, pas tout pour l'instant. Voilà, 1800. C'est pas quelqu'un qui va me donner beaucoup d'XP, je pense 3000. Un truc comme ça. Louise. Ah, c'est vrai qu'on pourrait la retrouver, la chère Louise.
You need some rest.
Attends. On va essayer de la retrouver, Louise. Ah bah elle est là.
Good evening, Miss Teasdale.
Dr. Reed. Oh, thank
Please don't mention it, miss.
good.
Bilan de santé.
I don't need your help specifically. I can assure you there are many competent doctors around.
I have no doubt about it, but I'm offering you my help anyway.
All right then. But please leave me alone for now.
What do you do for a living, Miss Teasdale?
Before my kidnapping, I was a waitress in a...
Were you fired?
No. It's just that after my recent experience, I don't feel like I can go back to my normal life. I need to do something useful.
Be very careful, Miss Teasdale. You were lucky to escape death once, but vampires lurk everywhere.
You killed my kidnapper by yourself, didn't you? No offense, Doctor, but you're just a doctor. I don't see why I couldn't do the same.
What do you intend to do?
Dad always told me, Louise, if you want something, don't stop until you have it. I did my research and I found it. Ichabod Throgmorton, professional vampire hunter. I'll be his apprentice.
What can you tell me about?
I've never really liked this part of town. It was where my father wanted to live. I won't remain here much longer.
What exactly don't you like about it?
People here are contemptuous and elitist. My dad always said, Louise, always treat people like you want them to treat you.
Donc elle va devenir chasseur de vampires. Question personnelle.
Louise, what can you tell me about the
The little fucker claimed he'd fallen in love with me. That he wanted to spend eternity with me. Not a bad idea. At least that's the way it seemed at first.
Really? Did you consider accepting his proposal?
Well, immortality. Not a common wedding gift, is it? I think he just wanted to have his way with me. Can vampires even fuck, Doctor?
What? Well, I really can't answer that. Well, since they are creatures of blood, physically speaking, I suppose an erection is possible, but
Don't be embarrassed, Dr. Reed. I was just asking.
You seem to cherish your father a great deal.
Dad was the best. He kept an eye on me, but let me make my own mistakes. Louise used to say, mistakes are the best teacher. You would have liked him.
I'm sorry you didn't have the opportunity to say goodbye.
That's all right. He's buried in consecrated ground now. Nothing bad can happen to him.
Ok. Bon.
Goodbye.
On la reverra certainement un peu plus tard. Alors ça me ferait vraiment chier de devoir l'affronter en vrai. Mais bon. Ça je prends. C'est ce qui permet de débloquer les augmentations. Je vais pouvoir débloquer l'augmentation d'une arme. Donc c'est cool. Bon. On en a fini pour l'instant. C'est vrai que non, on n'en a pas totalement fini, vu que là il y a les docks. Il y a cette partie de la ville qu'on n'a pas très bien explorée. Il y a des personnages qu'on n'a pas rencontrés. Et honnêtement, avant de continuer, je vais peut-être aller leur parler. Histoire de pas mourir bête. Donc évidemment... Oh là là! Et je suis toujours en difficulté. Je sais même pas si on peut jouabilité. Non, on ne peut pas changer la difficulté. Donc ouais, je suis toujours en difficulté normale, mais là... quoi. C'est dingue. Une fois que vous débloquez cette arme, vous la montez au palier 5 parce qu'elle est palier 4 de base. Et c'est bon quoi. Là, y a personne. Ok. Wow. Ok. Bon. Oh. C'est pas ce que je voulais, mais c'est pas grave. Ouais, j'ai fait le tour pour rien. Alors il y a un truc qui est un peu dommage, c'est que le nombre d'adversaires, hein, c'est vraiment un peu ridicule. On tombe toujours sur les mêmes, à part le boss qu'on a eu là qui était assez inédit. Et le boss final, hein, si j'ai souvenir aussi, qui est vraiment cool. Mais c'est vrai qu'on va tomber tout le temps sur des choses assez simples. Voyons voir. Oh, une chasse de qualité. Voilà, bon. Quoi? Bah les gars, moi que vous voulez? Bon. Ok. Besoin de sang, mon ami. Bon. Belle chevrotine. Pas me plaindre, ça fait toujours plaisir d'en dropper. J'aime beaucoup comment ils ont barricadé. En vrai. Inconnu. Donc oui, il y a plein de personnages à rencontrer là. Ça c'est cool. Inconnu, inconnu. Bon. Ma foi.
Good evening, sir. I am Dr. Jonathan Reed. Do you need my help?
Yes, please. Would you be kind enough to tell me what the time is?
That's all you need to know.
Well, is it not important to know? As important as where you are? Or who you are?
I suppose you're right. And who are you then, sir?
I am Agamemnon Baker. Like my brother, I think we need to leave this city immediately. And my brother and I rarely agree on anything.
Agamemnon, c'est un nom que j'ai entendu une fois quelqu'un le porter, et ça fait mais... Alors il y avait aussi un pharaon qui s'appelait comme ça, mais c'est un nom quasiment qui a disparu, mais j'avais un copain de classe qui avait ce nom-là, enfin ce prénom, jeune. Et je trouve que c'est un super prénom, mais très très dur à prononcer. Certains diront, les parents, il faut les pendre. Bah, vous savez, bien toute chose dans la vie. Hein. Donc la question personnelle, c'est mort. Bilan de santé, oui, demandez
Do
s'il
you
va
need
bien.
my
I
medical...
would appreciate some sunshine right now.
Donc ouais.
May I ask what you're doing outside at this hour of night?
I don't know. You should ask my brother instead. It was his idea in the first place.
You must have your own ideas.
From what I have managed to understand, I guess we're supposed to wait here. Waiting for someone to come.
Oh.
What can you tell me about this part of town?
It's the only place I've considered myself happy. Or at least that's what I believe. Unfortunately, it's time to leave.
Why is that?
Because I'm not feeling happy here anymore. Are you?
What kind of question is that? What am I supposed to answer exactly?
The truth. And I believe you just did it, actually.
May I ask why you've not gone already, if you're so exasperated by this long wait?
I believe fear is holding us back. My brother would have said it's laziness, but it's just because he's prouder than I am.
What can you tell me about your brother?
He's older than me, I think. But the important thing is that I really hope I'll die before him. Grief would just kill me, you know?
Is that all?
Pericles is very attached to this city, and without my insistence, he would never leave this place. We don't often agree on anything, you see.
Goodbye for now.
Et donc ça c'est son frère. Des jumeaux incroyables. Alors attends. Vas-y, il a piqué ma curiosité.
I'm Dr. Reed. Can I be of assistance?
Dr. Reed? Dr. Reed?
Périclès et Agamemnon. C'est assez marrant.
Your name sounds familiar. And your face. Have we met before?
I think I would remember. So I suppose the answer is no.
That's odd. I'm certain I've already heard of you. My name is Pericles Baker. Does that mean anything to you?
I'm afraid not, sir. But it's a pleasure to meet you anyway.
The pleasure is mine, I guess. I only wish I could remember when it was that we met.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Baker. What are you doing out here in the middle of the night?
We are waiting. Waiting for someone.
And why are you waiting for this person?
Because we need to leave this city. As soon as possible.
Why do you want to leave the city?
I'm not really sure.
Can you tell me anything about this district?
As you like asking questions so much, would you allow me to ask you one first?
Please, be my guest.
Do you like this city?
I know we are not living in the most peaceful of times, but I have learned to appreciate London's complexity.
Yes, me too. This city tests us. It invites us to find ourselves, to discover our true nature scattered throughout its dark streets.
But what if we don't like what we find?
Do we ever know who we are? I wonder sometimes. Or maybe it is the journey to find out who we are that changes us.
And what do you do, sir? For a living, that is.
I stopped working when I decided to leave. When I realized what I wanted. Wanted something this city can't provide.
Tell me more about why you want to leave London, then.
I just don't belong here anymore. I had to convince my brother to leave London because I know we need to find another life out of the city.
But what were you doing before you took this decision?
Does it really matter anymore? Considering the past seems so pointless to me. I have lived in this city all my life, and now I think it's over.
Pericles, tell me why your brother disagrees with your presence here.
Agamemnon is naive sometimes. Although don't consider him a fool, sir. He is often more lucid than me.
At least you both have the same difficulty explaining what you're doing, and for what reason.
But is that not a common problem for all mortals?
What can you tell me about your brother?
If you are searching for a pleasant chat, you should speak with him instead of wasting your time with me. He's always been the more gentle of us.
That's it? That's all you can tell me about him?
For the time being, true kindness is the most valuable quality, my good sir.
Who are you waiting for? I'm sure he has a name.
I really can't answer that question, since I don't know that person.
And why is that?
This person is mostly my brother's acquaintance. I don't even know his real name. Only that this man could help us leave this city once and...
But why would you need this person's help to leave London?
Well, I thought we should have left this cursed place.
Goodbye, Mr.
C'est étrange. Mais bon.
Who are you?
The more I think about it,
But what else could it be then?
I don't know. A feeling? An event?
Trap? And you think leaving London will free you?
At least it will give us the chance to be free. That's more than our present situation. Hope.
I'm afraid I'm not following you. What kind of trap are you talking about?
Have you ever felt like life trapped you in a role that does not fit you? That you are not in your place? That sort of trap.
Bon, c'est pas maintenant qu'on aura la réponse, mais intéressant. Intéressant et énigmatique. Alors attends, on va voir un petit peu par là. Je suis très curieux. Des munitions. Oh. Oh. Ok. Tiens, tiens. Hello.
Survive the epidemic, but I see terrible trials awaiting in the future.
Ça me trigger là. J'ai l'impression que je vais ouvrir quelque chose, mais c'est étrange. Bref. On va voir un peu. Là, on a un coffre fermé. D'accord, le truc il est SDF, il vit là quoi. Bon, pourquoi pas après tout.
Jonathan Reed, at last we meet. The cards warned me you would visit tonight.
I beg your pardon, sir. Do I know you?
Of course you do. Our mutual friend, Dr. Swansea, can't speak highly enough of you. My name is Usher. Usher Talltree.
You are the leader of the Brotherhood, are you not?
Primate of the Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole, to be precise.
I'm
really glad we met tonight.
Intéressant.
I love it when the cards tell me a truth.
The cards told you to expect me.
Yes, they can tell me everything. They told me that you have not taken another life since your poor sister died.
How do you measure the amount of blood on my hands?
I told you. The cards always tell the truth. Well, most of the time.
Is it possible to tell me my future?
A vampire's fate is much more delicate to read, Doctor. But I can try.
All right. Let me hear it.
You're on a path to redemption, Jonathan. But be careful. One single trip and you'll fall.
That doesn't sound promising.
Take this, young Ekon, as a personal reward for your strong will. Keep following the right path and you'll reach safety.
Vieux sang.
How do you measure the amount of blood on my hands?
I told you. The cards always tell the truth. Well, most of the time.
Is it possible to tell me my future?
A vampire's fate is much more delicate to read, Doctor. But I can try.
Tell me about yourself. What do you do here, besides turning cards in the middle of the night?
I'm for most a charlatan. For a few, I'm a vampire. And for you, I'm the primate of St. Paul's Stole.
For how long have you been a primate?
It was 15 years last year.
What do you make of Dr. Swansea?
Edgar is a brilliant and dedicated man. A man of his time, sometimes a little muddled, but always looking for new paths and new concepts.
Some believe you to be a vampire. Who?
The Guard of Priwen, who else? For a time they sent spies to observe my activities, and they even broke into my home to gather proof.
Did they steal anything from you?
A personal notebook they quickly took to their headquarters. All they had to do is to look at me. I'm aging. What better and definite proof that I'm not an immortal?
Do you want your notebook back?
If you ever find it, I'd be glad to have it back, of course. I do ask one thing, though. Do not read it, Jonathan. Some secrets are not meant to be revealed, even to immortals.
Très bien.
Goodbye, sir.
I rarely wander, yet it amuses me to convert a red river, a song in the dark, the whispers of a sun.
Alors attends,
I cannot enter.
verrouillé.
Good evening, Miss Price. How are you tonight?
Dr. Reed, I didn't know you had returned from the war.
Mademoiselle
I had a new
Price.
doctor when you left, but he's not as kind as you.
Always glad to see a former patient in good condition. It's been a long time.
Too long indeed. And as a token of my appreciation, I'll grant you the best price if you fancy buying anything.
Voyons voir ce que vous avez.
Always.
Aluminium, on prend.
I am glad to see you again.
Donc.
Good evening.
You know you can call me.
Votre vie à Londres. Ah tiens, le bilan de santé.
You know I'm fine.
Elle va très bien, bon. Elle, c'est une marchande, tout ce qu'il y a de plus...
Does your daughter still worry you, Miss Price? I remember you were often concerned about her health when she was younger.
Have you not seen Carol since you returned? She's almost a young woman now.
So you're less afraid?
Some things never change. Carol is still too clumsy for her own good. Sometimes her innocence puts her in real danger.
Why would her innocence put her in danger?
She does not realize how cruel life can be. Maybe I was a bad mother to protect her too much. My poor dear Carol.
You have every reason to be cautious, Miss Price, especially in these difficult times.
Maybe you could talk with her, Dr. Reed. It would be nice to have a man here more often. We would both feel safer.
What can you tell me about yourself, Miss Price?
I'm still managing my shop. The only difference is, since the quarantine, we're open at night. You, on the contrary, seem to have changed a lot.
Really? Have I changed that much? It must have been the war and the night shifts since my return.
Don't get me wrong, Dr. Reed, you're still handsome. Just maybe a little bit wiser, more serious. It suits you well.
Tell me more about yourself. No new fiancé? I remember you were hoping to get remarried. I'm sure you must have a few suitors.
Who would marry an old bat like myself with a grown daughter and a little business? As you know, I only fancy handsome men like yourself.
Bon.
Goodbye for now.
Il faut qu'on trouve la fille.
Dr. Reed, I am glad to see you again.
Il manque la fille, donc... Ah, inconnu. Ah. On va faire pour aller la voir. On va essayer d'aller la voir. Oh.
It's locked, all right.
Alors peut-être qu'elle va finir par remonter, faut voir. Intéressant.
Be careful, Carol. You're wasting good food here.
Yes, Mother.
I said be careful, child. I'm sorry, sweetheart. Mummy has been so clumsy again.
No, that's okay. It won't bleed for long.
You're so pale. Are you feeling sick? Do you need to see a doctor?
No, I'm fine. I already saw the doctor last week.
Don't be silly. You must see a doctor. Just don't tell him how clumsy your mummy is, all right? I love you so much, my baby.
I love you too, Mother.
Oh, la mère elle a un pet au casque.
It's locked.
Dr. Reed, I am glad.
Parlons un
Good
peu.
You know.
Tell me, Carolyn, do you often wound or hurt your daughter by mistake?
No. I always thought it was Carol's clumsiness that caused these incidents. Maybe it's a family trait, Doctor.
You really believe it's just bad luck and being clumsy then?
Of course, Doctor. What else could it be? I have nothing to hide.
Goodbye.
Dr. Reed, I am glad.
Club Ascalon. Ah, ils ont même pas nettoyé les crados. Ah, moi, si j'étais le seigneur, je les virerais tous. Hein. Je m'en débarrasserais, hein, clairement. Oh, bonjour.
Elizabeth, what are you doing here?
I've been formally asked to witness your triumph, my dear. After all, isn't it the natural role of a woman to support her man in victory?
But it's you who insisted I join the Ascalon.
Please forgive my giddiness. I'm just overcome by the thrill of finally being allowed within these hallowed halls.
You certainly have an inquisitive mind. It's quite something. Elizabeth Ashbury, only you can make me smile in these difficult times.
And the same to you, Jonathan Reed. Now go have your little chat with the chairman. I can see he's practically bursting to hear your report.
Vous devez rien à
We'll
me
talk
dire.
later, John.
Ok. Bon.
I must admit the Guard of Prewen impressed me. They must have spent years preparing their plan.
Dude.
Welcome back to the Ascalon Club, Lance-Bearer. Please tell us the good news. Have you put an end to the epidemic?
My hypothesis was correct. Doris Fletcher was the source of the contagion in this part of town. She was probably the first to be infected.
And you cleansed her before the hunters, I've been told. Well done, Dr. Reed. You thrust your lance and pierced the very heart of the corruption.
I'm just a doctor.
The important thing is, we won a major battle for the survival of London. For that, we salute you.
Thank you, my lord.
Now, I have another task for you. One of the utmost importance. Perhaps even more so than the previous.
I'm listening.
It's time for you to perform a most sacred duty for the club. I want you to recruit a new vampire.
Recruit a new vampire? Are you sending me on some sort of diplomatic mission?
Not exactly. I want you to make Aloysius Dawson the Ekon he deserves to be.
I'm not sure I'm the best candidate for such a task.
I can hear the hesitation in your voice, Dr. Reed. I admire a man of principles. But in this matter, there is more at stake than your moral comfort.
It's not a moral question, Lord Redgrave. It's the responsibility of giving immortality to a man I barely know.
Nonsense. Aloysius has been a member of the Ascalon for years. This is but the fruition of a long-held plan.
How would you like me to proceed?
Aloysius is waiting for you at the Dawson estate. Once the deed is done, I'll join you there to celebrate this momentous occasion.
Before I go, I have a few questions.
All right, I'm listening.
You invited Lady Ashbury. Wouldn't that be breaking one of your cardinal rules? No women allowed.
Not allowed as members, no. But considering the circumstances, I thought you'd like to have her here to witness your triumph.
So it's a temporary admittance, then?
Something of a bargain, considering the crisis we're currently facing.
Why Aloysius Dawson?
Because he is about to die. and he just may be the most influential man in England. After me, of course.
Did he choose me?
No, I did. My decision is very recent, to say the least, but it is entirely mine.
Does he know I'm coming?
He can't wait to become your progeny, Dr. Reed. Especially now that you have shown how strong your lineage is through your sister.
How would you like me to proceed?
Don't worry. Aloysius has had many years to prepare himself. He has studied our kind for decades.
Is there any danger?
Our blood alters a mortal body so deeply that some don't survive the metamorphosis. They die for good. But Mr. Dawson has been preparing himself for a long time.
So shall I just let him drink my blood?
Yes. Aloysius will gratefully sup on your blood. His heart will slow, then stop. But he will rise again as one of us, an immortal.
Goodbye, Lord Red.
Bon.
Are you all right, Jonathan?
Lord Redgrave has just ordered me to turn Aloysius Dawson, to make him my progeny.
I see. And how do you feel about this?
I'd like your advice on the matter.
The real question here is, why has his lordship given you this task?
Do you think it's some sort of trap?
Do you really want to know what I think about this?
I do, yes.
To make an immortal of a soulless blackguard like Aloysius Dawson will only lead to a disaster for London. The man is already dead inside.
Should I refuse? Perhaps politely suggest that Lord Redgrave turn the man into a vampire himself.
Don't you dare, my dear. According to what I've recently discovered, his lordship could kill you for even broaching the subject.
Really? Why?
I've recently found proof that the Earl of Bristol is of lesser lineage and only capable of creating skulls.
Please tell me more about your recent investigation.
As long as you lower your voice.
What would happen if I made Dawson an Ekon like myself?
You would add a powerful immortal into a suffering world. An immortal who already craves authority.
Maybe I could teach him control, like you taught me. Lead him down the right path.
Mr. Dawson spent his life searching for a way to cheat death. I'm sure he has spent decades dreaming of how he'd spend eternity as a tyrant.
Are you sure your information about Redgrave is correct? He says he's the progeny of the great knight William Marshall, who lived some 9 centuries ago.
That's a lie. Lord Redgrave is unable to create anything but skulls, if the poor souls survive at all.
How can you be sure the information was correct?
I made the acquaintance of a most interesting informer while investigating your maker, from whom I learned the truth about Lord Redgrave.
Why so vindictive? You suddenly sound like you're angry.
Forgive me, Jonathan. I hate myself for it, but I feel such pride in my discovery. I'm afraid I just can't help it.
Which is?
He did serve William Marshall. And yes, the blood he covets as a token does truly belong to that legendary knight. But he was never his progeny. His lineage is not so noble.
What would you have me do about Dawson?
The man is dangerous. Did you know he plans to build a wall to separate the healthy rich from the sickly poor? Do not make him your progeny.
What would you do?
The man's dying already. Let the Reaper harvest the rotten fruit that is his soul.
Goodbye for now, Elizabeth.
Goodbye, my dear.
Bien. Eh bien, vous savez quoi? on va s'arrêter là. Je vais réfléchir à mon choix. Je pense que je vais choisir le choix d'Elisabeth. Cela aura évidemment des conséquences. Nous verrons bien cela où va nous mener. Et moi, je vous dis à très très vite. Ciao ciao!